You may want to put a sticky note with her real name in front of your computer so you don't call her Bryce.
All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today is Thursday, November 6, 2025. The time is 8:53 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renassa, serving as chairman of today's parole panel. My colleagues on the panel this morning, seated to my left is Mr. Danny Barra, and to my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. I'd like to get the staff here at DOC headquarters to please introduce themselves for the record.
Parole.
All right, thank you. And so our first remote location this morning is at St. John the Baptist Parish Jail. I'd like to get the officer to please introduce himself for the record.
Good morning, y'all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What's your name, sir?
Hey, my name is Sergeant Brian Bartholomew.
All right, Sergeant Bartholomew, thanks for accommodating us this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have before us Mr. Antonio Bryce. Mr. Bryce,
ma'am.
would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Antonio Bryce, and my DOC number is 608884.
All right, yes, thank you, sir. And you have counsel this morning. Counsel, would you introduce yourself for the record?
Marcy Allen. My business address is 1011 North 7th Street, Monroe, Louisiana, and my bar number is 27939.
All right, thank you. And so we also, let me acknowledge some folks that are participating with us here at with us in Baton Rouge. We have friends Sharon Hall and Scotty Cook, and we have your cousin on Zoom. The Aquarius, did I say that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Aquarius Higgins. And so they'll all be speaking at the appropriate time to call on them. So I'll read the allegations against you, Mr. Bryce, and ask you to enter your plea, guilty or not guilty. And either you or your attorney can that plea. Once we get through that, we'll have a discussion. And your attorney can make her presentation after we hear from the guests. All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're accused of violating the conditions of your parole. And first is condition number 2, and it states you have not submitted a monthly report or reported to your parole officer since April 2023. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty, sir?
Not guilty.
Okay. Then we have condition number 3. It reads, you failed to get permission from your parole officer before changing your address. You also left the state of Louisiana without permission. So a parole warrant was issued on October 19, 2023. You were subsequently arrested on parole warrant in Kansas and extradited back to Louisiana on July 11, 2025. So how do you plead to violating condition number 3?
Not guilty.
Condition number 4, and it reads, it's lengthy. I will not engage in criminal activity. This is what the condition is. The condition states, I will not engage in criminal activity, nor will I associate, be involved in criminal activity. I will avoid bars and casinos. I will refrain from the illegal use of drugs and alcohol. It is alleged you violated this condition, which is evident by your arrest by the Parsons Police Department for the following cases. Number 23-1622, aggravated domestic battery, domestic battery. Then there's 24-0039, aggravated burglary, theft of property or services, firearm, interference with law enforcement officer, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, and robbery. And then, let's see. Then there's number 24-0328, domestic battery, criminal threat, aggravated battery, aggravated burglary, criminal damage to property. So how do you plead violating condition number 4?
Not guilty.
We have condition number 5, which is that I shall not have in my possession or control firearms, dangerous weapons. You violated this condition is evident by your arrest by the Parsons Police Department for theft, property, firearm, and possession of a weapon by convicted. How do you plead to violating condition number 5?
Not guilty.
Lastly, is number 9. Your parole officer was unable to visit you at your residence or place of employment, moved out of state, and changed jobs without permission. So how do you plead to violate condition number?
Not guilty.
Okay, well, let's go back to condition number 2. Did you submit monthly reports to your parole officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have evidence of that, or do you or your attorney have evidence of that since April 23?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Allen, do you have that?
No, Your Honors, I do not have a copy of any monthly report that was presented by Mr. Bryce.
Thank you. And I don't have it in our record either. So you want to explain yourself? How did you submit those monthly reports, Mr. Bryce?
By calling and talking into her.
I don't think that's a monthly report, sir.
Oh,
Let's move on. Number 3 says you failed to get permission for changing your address. You want to talk about that one?
yes, ma'am. She had sent me a text message, letting me know that I got permission to leave the state for a job.
You got permission to leave the state for a job interview.
Yes.
And you never went on the interview because by the time you got that text, you said that they had already given that position and they had to find another position for you. You were advised by your parole officer then. Let me see when that was. I have it written down. And that was Agent Nelson, and this was on May 24th, 2023. This is before, she needed documentation of the job, and the transfer paperwork must be completed before you move. And then July 13th, you got the text somewhere in between, July 13th, because it's not dated. We do have a copy of the text. July 13, 2023, Agent Nelson advised that she would have to talk to her supervisor about your request to move. Then the last day you worked on your job was July 14th, and we didn't know where you were. So I didn't see in the information that was provided to me that you actually had a travel permit to move to Kansas.
What I thought the text messages were for.
You didn't think they had a return date? You thought you could just go and stay there?
No, sir. I kept in touch with her when I was down there, and I let her know what happened about the job. And I went and got me another job, which was at Rusty.
Okay.
All right, so we got that one. Now let's talk about the criminal activity. Want to talk about them? So let me see. We'll go through. And the ones I'm interested in, and your attorney provided copies of everything. Let me start off in December 2nd, 2023, there was an aggravated domestic battery by choking, and there was also domestic battery with Marilyn Kendrick. The first one was Scotty Cook. That was dismissed, I see.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we have November, well, that's just traffic. March 20th, 24, the domestic battery, criminal trespass, aggravated battery, and criminal damage to property. Do you want to talk about that one?
That was dropped too.
Well, why were you arrested? I mean, they can be dropped.
No, because when I was there, we had a misunderstanding, and Miss Scotty Cook had told the police something that I don't know, because I was in back of the vehicle or whatnot, and they just took me to jail.
Okay.
Well, during that incident, the officers noticed scratch marks on her neck, cuts on her neck, minor cuts inside of her lip. And then there was, somebody produced a recording where you admitted hitting her that day.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, there is a recording. November 20th, 2024, aggravated burglary that had to do with 2 9mm firearms.
Not guilty, and they did not get no guns off of me.
They were
That is
in
not-
possession. They were in the truck you were driving. One was. One of them was in the truck you were driving, wasn't it?
not
One with
that I recall.
family.
Not that I recall. They had came in the house and had took one out of her safe.
Were you
They
living in
tried-
that home?
Ma'am,
You living in that home?
yes, I was there.
Were you living there?
Yes, I was staying there.
Well, okay. I missed this one, January 11, interference with law enforcement. That's when you were found hiding in the closet?
I was in the room,
In the closet.
or whatnot, when they came and got me.
All right, so there is one where you pled nolo contendere to, that was a domestic battery, June 17, 2024. You want to talk about that incident?
The speaker is cutting in and out, and it's hard for me to kind of hear you.
There was a domestic battery incident which you pled nolo contendere to, June 17, 2024. Tell us about that.
Okay, I'm living there and I'm working all day and all night, and I just get loud noise out of anywhere on the Scotty Cook. She's going crazy on me, and I have no idea what's going on. And she ended up calling the police because of her mental health. And that's the reason why those charges are being brought on.
You said she called the police because of her mental health?
Yes.
But you pled in court.
I had pled in court because I didn't want it to mess up her daycare because of the kids. And they said it was gonna be a misdemeanor, which I didn't know that it would, like mess with my parole. So that's the only reason why I had done that. If I would have known, I would have went to trial.
All right, well, let's, I tell you what, let's hear first, before we ask for Ms. Allen's presentation, we'll hear from the folks that are here with us. So could we first hear from Sharon?
Yes.
Can you step up to the podium,
Okay.
please?
My name is Sharon Hall, and I am mutual friends with both of them. My friend Scott Cook does have a lot of mental health issues. She's getting that worked out, and I'm also helping her with that. I do know that, I'm not sure really what's going on, but I do know that she did come over to my house the night that she did tell me that things were going on with her and Antonio, and that she was gonna do things to get him away from her, that she regrets now. I don't know much about that, but that she did at my house, guess what I'm about to do to him. So I do know that part. I also did want to add that I do live out in the low poverty houses. Like Mendota Creek, it's like a public housing. And Antonio Bryce does come out there with the kids. He donates to the Mendota Creek office building where we do events, barbecues for the kids. The food stamps got cut off. We need them home, so we got barbecue for us for the kids. So I really came all the way here 13 hours just because I love the kids out at Mendota, and they're asking me, when's or we call him Mendota, we got a little name for him. When's Antonio coming home and all this and that? Like I said, he donates to the community, so our office manager is also asking me, and I said, I don't know, figure it out and speak not with the kids that miss him. That's really all I had to say was that he did get back to the community down there in Kansas, so all the other stuff I'm not sure, but I do know that part. And I know that with Scotty being there for him, she's a great support system. I'm not sure what happened in the past, where he got her today now, but I think he was to get out. I do think he would really get him where he needs to be, take him where he needs to be done, do it. From already get some other chance after they've already messed up probably, but no, I just hope that he can come home. Whether that's Kansas, whether that's here. I miss him, don't ready for him to come back. And that's all I had to say. Thank you guys.
Thank you
I got a
for
question
coming.
for you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't think there was questions.
You said she went over there and she wanted to do something to him, to get with him for what? What was she
For,
saying that
I
he did?
guess she said he was cheating on her. I'm not sure. I didn't think that was it, just the cheating. But I'm pretty sure that was it. She didn't really go into detail. She was too busy screaming and crying and mad and said she was gonna get him. But that was like a year or so ago. They're good now. She's getting help. But I think he went to some classes. I know she is, she's been going to mental health and stuff, just based off everything that came up sort due to her mental health.
Thank you.
Scotty? Come on.
Sorry. Here's tissue.
Tissue right in front of it.
Antonio, I had patients during that time, but he's never. I did scratch myself. Easily bleed. I have a B12 deficiency and gums might easily bleed. So never ever on me. And I do have bipolar. I'm being tested. He is he first got Kansas for my kids, so he would hold his truck, maybe he's a like anybody. The domestic violence basically makes me that made me feel like I wasn't, but I wasn't tolerated. She did wrong. I would, but I do want to talk to when the police house thought he had took, but when he came back to the house, I said, guns were never out of the house they were in. My house. But at the time when I started, I started I black out. He's always wanted right. But I take it further than what it should be. But with him, he started taking an anger management class, and then I started going to health. Foundational? No, I did not.
Any questions?
I do.
Your honorable board, Miss Cook was breaking up mightily during everything she said. I was able to hear Sharon what she said, but only bits and pieces of what Miss Cook had to say. Are you able to sum it up for me so I know what she had to say?
Yeah, and she's emotional, so that's probably why you couldn't hear her. She's never laid his hands on her. But she explained her mental health issues and that she's getting treatment, and that he's also went to anger management since, and that it's good to her children and her.
We where we live at.
Yeah.
And
She's talking about his work, mentor children around where they.
I don't have.
Well,
I have some questions. You know, I hate to do this, but I mean, come on. I mean, I'm reading the arrest report. I mean, wait. I mean, I'm reading the arrest report. Who's married? Did he get married?
When I get to that point, and I'm not gonna lie, Tony only took these deals because the police, when I went to the DA, I asked the DA to drop the charges. They were gonna drop the charges, but then Antonio had already pled no contest to these charges. And I
Okay.
wrote a letter to the DA, and I wrote a letter to them, I wrote a letter to you guys as a board, but it was more like a like a vindictive thing towards him.
okay.
All right.
When, did he know that you had those guns in the house?
No, he did not. I had him because I was a single mom, and where we live at, there's a state hospital out there, and the sex offenders and stuff would be able to, they would roam around. So he did not know I had those.
So how did the police get the guns? How did they know about the guns?
I told him that I thought he had took some guns out of my house, but he never took those guns.
That was made up too?
Yeah, well, at the time, I really thought he did take the guns, but he didn't.
Well, why didn't you just go look and see if he took them?
I was already upset.
Yeah, one of the police reports that I read, when they found him in the closet in the bedroom, he said something to the effect, and I don't have it right in front of me, but, oh, you're looking for the other gun, and he showed him where it was.
I don't think that's true because there was the next, when they got Antonio, they didn't even get the guns until the next day. And then I asked him, I said, why do you have to take my guns if you guys know he did not have them on person?
All right.
What about the clumps of your hair? They just fell out or what?
No, I.
You pulled them out yourself?
When you guys started pulling.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you. So we have one more on Zoom, and that's Aquarius Higgins.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, sir. What would you like us to know?
Hey, how y'all doing this morning? My
Good.
name is Aquarius Higgins, and I'm Antonio Bryce's cousin. And I'm just gonna speak briefly and give y'all a background of who Antonio Bryce is. Like Antonio, he has been one of those family members that has been there for me since the beginning. Like since he's older than me, he's my older cousin, and we both from Louisiana, but I stay in Kansas also right now. And ever since I was young kid, Antonio has always been there for me in multiple ways. And when times where I didn't have anywhere to go, he was there for me and everything. times I didn't have anything to eat or anything at all. I just needed someone to talk to, advice from someone. He was there for me. He like Antonio is a very much more caring person than everybody give him credit for. Like earlier, Sharon was talking about those who love him. They ask about him and talk about him all the time. Scotty's children love him. All the kids in the community love him. Antonio, every other day you gonna see him barbecuing and everything for the kids and everything. This every other day is just he's the type of person that loves to put smiles on people's faces and bring joy to people. And when he's around, he brings everybody around. He's like what they're called the life of the party. Like he brings people together. He has a great Nick for bringing people together and bringing the best out of people. He had brought the best out of me at times where I just wanted to give up. He the one who kept me pushing and everything. Antonio, people, I don't, everyone makes mistakes in life, but the mistakes that he's been accounted for is like mistakes that happened early on and when he was younger and everything, but he's not that person that them papers and everything may try to perceive him out to be. He's not that person. He's a very great, caring person, a person that'll do anything for anybody and be there for anybody in whatever way he can, if he can. And I just want to see him get because he been in Kansas doing very good. He just got his detail shot, but he haven't got it just rolling yet because he's waiting to get out and everything. And I was gonna be a part of that because I do carpentry and construction, and I was gonna build him a shed and everything so he can conduct his business. So it's just like I just want to see him get another opportunity. Like you don't see too many people get a second chance or another opportunity. And he's a great person, and he's trying to do great in life. He's trying to be successful. And also another thing is, I met his daughter and everything, and it's like that little girl loves him, and he's right there closer to her, and they've been building a great bond and everything. And I love to see that continue happening.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us this morning.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
Thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
I can't hear anything. It's like it's muted.
Well, we're not muted. Must be on your end.
I say that one more time, ma'am.
All right, Miss Allen, we'd like to hear from you now.
Okay, I'm not sure I have much to add other than what's in the my pre-hearing memorandum, and I know I got that to your honorable board late, and I do apologize for that. I did not have a complete copy of his criminal history, but what the information I have been provided, the charges other than the 2 misdemeanor no contest pleas have all been dismissed. And I know that a record of an arrest is a record of an arrest, but police officers are not lawyers. It is the district attorneys, the lawyers, who decide whether or not the case is worth pursuing, whether the case has merit. And when the district attorney's office in Kansas decided to drop and dismiss all of the charges, the ugly charges, the felon in possession of a firearm, the aggravated burglary, all of those ugly charges getting dismissed, that means a lot to me as an attorney. It means to me that the state looked at the case and decided that they could not meet its burden of proof, or that there was some kind of other fatal flaw in the case. So I hope that this honorable board does not hold those arrests against him. Now, I'm also a criminal defense attorney, so I've seen some prosecutors and judges do hold arrest records against people. And in my mind, I think there's a presumption of innocence. And if the case gets dismissed, that means that there must not have been enough there for the state to prove those matters beyond a reasonable doubt. I do believe that, Mr. Brice, together with Ms. Cook and Sharon and DeQuarius's testimony, kind of help paint the story that they did a better job than I could in my little memorandum about what was really going on between Mr. Bryce and Miss Cook as far as those the domestic abuse pleas. And he did enter no contest pleas, which is weird to me. I don't think that would be allowed in Louisiana. But, a no contest plea is not an admission of guilt. But he did so, it's my understanding, because Miss Bryce had the daycare center in her name. And he did not want to jeopardize her ability to continue with that business. But Mr. Bryce has gotten himself very busy in Kansas. Now, when he left Louisiana, he may have only had that one, that all I was privy to was that one text message from Miss Nelson saying, I'm granting you permission to leave the state of Louisiana to travel to Parsons for a job interview and to get established in Kansas. And once established, I will put a transfer in. And whether judging, trying to, Mr. Bryce, I don't believe was ever understood that he needed anything more than that. What he had was written permission to leave the state of Louisiana from Miss Nelson. And I think, I think I cited it in, I think that would at least represent a satisfactory excuse, according to Louisiana Revised Statute 15:547.9b. I mean, when all the circumstances put together, I think that text message gave Mr. Bryce the understanding that he had the right to leave. So I don't think that he should be considered to have absconded from Louisiana. And I mean, he has paid his supervision fees even while he's been incarcerated, which I think shows his good faith. I think that if he misunderstood what his reporting requirements were, it was not out of malice or him trying to get one over on the Department of Probation and Parole, but truly a misunderstanding. Mr. Bryce moved to Kansas to make a better life for himself. And as the witnesses here today have told you guys, he's doing it. He is affecting his community positively. He is a participant and co-owner in the daycare center that Miss Cook has, as well as for the 4 rental homes she has a detail shop. And as you've heard from the witnesses who testified today, he is active in mentoring children. The children love him. He's barbecuing, apparently, and just getting people involved in the community. He made a change for the better. The charges, the underlying charges for which the parole board is looking at were, distribution of drugs. And there is no indication that Mr. Bryce has ever once looked back at drugs as an option in his life. That's not what we're here about today. So his behavior was deterred by that sentence. And he has moved to Kansas to make himself a better person. And it sure sounds like he's been doing that. And I hope that this honorable board will, consider all of these factors. And as Mr. DeQuarius said, I hope that this honorable board will give him another chance. He has already served like 100 and I don't remember days. I'd have to find that in my brief, like 157 days or something, 134 days as of today, for these violations. And I hope that this honorable board will consider that a just punishment, which will deter any future, gaps in understanding what he needs to do. And I'll do everything I can to assist him to know exactly what his obligations are. I'll go over it word by word, letter by letter if need be, so that Mr. Bryce is doing everything he needs to do to satisfy his obligations to the Department of Probation and Parole. And do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, you said that he's paid his fees while he's in jail. Was he paying a monthly fee while he was in Kansas and not reporting to Louisiana?
Well, and see, I'm not privy to the monthly report information. I did ask for additional information, but I was not given it. All I know is that his supervision fees, I did attach that as an exhibit. He has a zero balance with the Department of Probation and Parole. I don't know that he fully, like I said, I'm not sure that he fully understood his obligations. And this is one thing I hate about, and I'm not trying to accuse every attorney of doing that, but I've represented so many people, and I try to be so careful when I am closing a case. If one of my clients ends up pleading to, for instance, a domestic abuse battery, I'm like, look, guy, or usually it is guy, but look, person, look, client, from now on, even though the state of Louisiana may at some point allow you to carry a firearm, there's a federal statute that will keep you from having a firearm. I'm careful to let my clients know what the after effects are and do my best to explain to them, but I'm afraid that not all attorneys do that. And
Right. I don't want to cut you off, but the attorney might not have done it, but the probation officers did it 3 times. He's a third felony offender. He knew his rules. He can't tell me he didn't know his rules. You don't leave for 2 years and then he wasn't paying his fees for those 2 years, because if he was, they'd have tracked him down and arrested him. So
all I know is
he should have known his rules, and Mr. Bryce, the attorney should do it, but I can guarantee probation and parole did it. So he knew his rules.
Well, you may be right about that, but I think that when you get a text message from your parole officer saying, I'm granting you permission to leave Louisiana and get established in Kansas, that's hard for someone to take any way other than, hooray, I can go to Kansas. I can be near my daughter. I can start a new life away from the bad influences I had in Louisiana. And I think that that's key. Deterrence, of course, is important. And Mr. Bryce's narcotic behavior has been deterred. He has improved his life. He's improved the lives of others.
So let me ask Mr. Bryce this question. I'm reading the officer's notes. And I referred to this earlier. This was in May of 23. That's when y'all first started having the conversations about out of state. It says, and this is verbatim, this agent contacted subject, that's you, to see when he was talking about going to Kansas and asked him if he was planning to give up his apartment, because if he was, she would need to transfer the case to Kansas. And then she goes on to say that she had to consult with her supervisor about the transfer. Then she advised you, after checking with her supervisor, she told you that you needed to send your agent the email address of wherever the job was. And they can email her a letter on their company letterhead indicating you had the job. And you said you'd do that. Did you ever get them to send that email? Y'all are on mute. Is the officer still there? There he comes. It's still muted, sir. He's getting somebody to help. Yeah, he's getting somebody. I can see. Okay, I think it's unmuted.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
send, did you get him to send the email?
No, she had the pictures and she had the pictures and everything of the job that where I was going. I sent her all of that, and I do have proof of that.
Did you get them to send an email on company letterhead that you had the job?
No, ma'am, when I had talked to her,
Okay, so then she's met with you again. That was in May. This is in July. And that y'all were still talking about it. And that's when you told her you didn't get the job because of the, you
yeah,
didn't go for the interview on time, in time.
right, and I talked to her, and I told her I was going to get another job, which I did, and that was at Ruston.
Then in October, I guess the boss, the Ruston job contacted the agent and said that you hadn't worked in months. The last day you worked there was July 14th, 2023, which was the day after you met with her, and she said you can't go yet.
I don't recall that, man.
So I appreciate what you're saying, but the discussion that I'm seeing between you and the agent Nelson, that match up. You just said you wanted to go.
Was that out?
So, any other questions? All right. I don't see any other questions at this time, Mr. Bryce. So I think we're ready to vote. My problem is the no contest plea. I hear everything that's been said. We take the domestic violence issues very seriously. You pled in court. Regardless of your reason, I have to go that criminal activity occurred because you pled to it. So my vote today is going to be to revoke your plea. Mr. Freeman.
Find him in violation of condition number 4. I also vote to revoke his parole.
Mr. Byron.
I concur for the same reasons.
Mr. Bryce, today your parole is being revoked. You will have an opportunity to apply for re-parole. We'll send you information on how and when you can do that. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, we just understand. Is it doing anything? Christian Trade is your attorney representing you? Christian Trade, she's your attorney that's representing you?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's representing herself.
All right, good morning. We are reconvening now at the Ascension Parish Jail, and we have Mr. Butler in front of us. Mr. Butler, morning.
Can y'all hear?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Butler, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Good. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is DERMAYNE BULTER, DOC 491750.
All right, thank you. And you have counsel this morning. Would you introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Kristen Trigg on behalf of Mr. Butler.
And you're appointed, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Butler, I will read the allegations against you because you're accused of violating the conditions of your parole. I'll read it out to you, and you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. We'll have a conversation with it, and then also with your attorney.
And before we start, I had spoken with my client prior to today, and he advised that he was going to be self-revoking when I spoke with him last week.
All right. Well, Mr. Butler, is that still your wish, is to revoke yourself?
Well, since we're here, ma'am, we just might as well go along with the board up. The charges that they said that I'm currently in jail for, it's been mistaken, ma'am. I didn't commit those charges. For as it comes
Do you want
to
to proceed or not? Do you want to revoke yourself or do you want to proceed?
proceed.
So, Ms. Trigg, we'll go ahead and proceed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, you're accused of violating condition number 4. Again, after I read it, I'm going to ask you to plead guilty or not guilty, and then you can talk about it. Condition number 4, there's 2 instances. One is you violated this condition by committing the offenses of second-degree battery and resisting an officer, 2 counts. You were arrested February 29, 2025 by Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office and charged with those offenses. On June 24th, 2025, the Ascension Parish District Attorney now crossed the second-degree battery. You pled guilty to resisting an officer on that same day. So how do you plead to violating condition number 4 in that instance?
What is condition for? Resistance or whatever it is?
Criminal activity.
Ma'am?
Condition number 4 is that you will not be involved in any criminal activity. So it's alleged that you were involved in criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest and your plea to resisting an officer. So how do you plead guilty or not guilty to violating condition number 4?
Guilty.
Then there's another instance of condition number 4. And remember, that's about criminal activity. It says you committed the offense of battery of an officer on October 25th, 2024. You pled guilty to battery of an officer, 2 counts on December 16, 2024 in St. James Parish. How do you plead to that instance of violating condition number 4?
Guilty.
Lastly, has to do with your payments, and that's condition number 10. It says you failed to make any payments towards supervision fees since you've been on parole supervision. So how do you plead to violating condition number 10?
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay. So let me ask you this. You pled guilty to both instances of condition number 4. Tell me why you feel like you're not guilty of condition number 10, which has to do with your fees.
Currently, I was out of work and I'm disability. I'm waiting still on my disability, so that's been postponed.
So you weren't able to pay your fees because you didn't have the money. Okay. And let me ask Ms. Trigg, is there anything you'd like to add to this conversation?
No, just other than what Mr. Butler said, that he didn't have the money due to him waiting on his disability to pay the fees.
Okay. Mr. Butler, is there anything else you'd like us to know?
Not really.
Okay. Well, listen, based on the fact that you pled guilty to condition number 4 twice today, my vote, I find you guilty of violating condition number 4. And my vote today is to revoke your supervision. Mr. Freeman
I concur for the same reason.
and Mr. Byron.
I concur for the same reason.
All right, Mr. Butler, good luck to you, sir. But today we're revoking your supervision. Good luck, sir.
So I'm
Mr. Levine? Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
I am Darren Levine, DOC number 751591.
So, Mr. Levine, let me ask you a few questions. Did you request appointed counsel at your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
And you filled out some paperwork before your preliminary hearing, which determined you were not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna read your violations. Well, actually, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Byron. Your case has been assigned to him. Mr. Byron?
All right, Mr. Levine, we'll start with condition number 3. It is alleged you have violated your conditions in the following manner: that you would live at the address stated on the parole certificate, and you must move from the address. You will get permission from the parole officer before doing so. In addition, you will not leave the state of Louisiana without written permission from the officer. It's alleged that you have moved from your last known address without permission from your parole officer for the month of July. Several attempts were made to contact you with no success. Due to several failed attempts to contact you at the address of record, a warrant was issued for your arrest on 8/27/25. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty. I never moved.
All right. Condition number 4 said that you would not engage in criminal activity, nor will you associate with persons known to be involved in criminal activity, and that you avoid all bars and casinos and refrain from use of illegal drugs and alcohol. During the month of July, you were associated with people who were known to be involved in criminal activity. You were driving a vehicle with another person in the car that was in possession of illegal substance that resulted in a traffic stop by Point COUPEE Narcotics Task Force. How do you plead to that one?
I plead guilty after I was driving the car.
And there was some guys in it that had some drugs?
Yes, sir, that I didn't know, I didn't know about until we was pulled over.
All right. Also, violation of number 4, on August 29th, 25, you were involved in criminal activity through the commission of offense of felon in possession of ammunition and 2 counts of drug paraphernalia, and arrested by the Point COUPEE Parish Sheriff's Office. You were arrested by probation and parole on an active parole warrant for absconding supervision. You were booked into the Point COUPEE Parish Jail. How do you plead to that one, the ammunition and the drugs?
I'm only charged with the possession of drug paraphernalia, and that arrest was on it I think. Well, one of my papers stated 27, the other one stated 28, and he said 29, so not guilty.
Okay. Also, on August 28th, 25, it is alleged that you were involved in criminal activity through the commission of the offense of criminal damage to property and domestic abuse battery. You allegedly struck a vehicle with a large metal object, as well as throwing a liquid containing what appeared to be urine on the alleged victim. Statements from the Point COUPEE Parish Sheriff's Office, in the statements, however, no arrest was made for those. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty.
On August 28th, 25, a drug screen was conducted and you had positive results for marijuana and methamphetamine. You admitted then to using methamphetamine and marijuana. How do you plead to that one?
I plead guilty to that because I do need help, and I did ask for help.
All right. Number 9, that I agree to visits at my residence or place of employment without prior place of employment by my probation officer at any time. I also agree to searches of my person, property, residence, and vehicle when reasonable suspicion exists that I have been engaged in criminal activity. On August 28, 25, you were involved in criminal activity through the commission of the offense of felon in possession of ammunition and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. Your bedroom was searched after being taken into custody, revealing that you were in possession of the ammunition, which is prohibited to be in your possession while on good time supervision. You used methamphetamine pipe and scale were also found in your bedroom while searching it. A metal object was found that is allegedly used in the incident that morning, resulting in your arrest by the Point Coupee Sheriff's Office. How do you plead to that, finding all that in your bedroom?
The med pipe didn't have drugs. The metal object was something for my dog to put in the ground to tie my dog outside. And the scale was a food scale.
Yeah. So you plead guilty that you did at the preliminary hearing, and that's the excuse you gave?
Guilty.
Number 10, that you pay a supervision fee in the amount set by the Louisiana Department of Corrections pursuant to RS statutes, and payment are due the first day of each month. You failed to submit payments to your supervision fees and are currently behind $1,260. How do you plead to that?
The job that I was working at the Ford Motor Company, it wasn't enough for me to pay my parole and help my mom with bills. So, you know, I couldn't pay it, so I plead guilty to that.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more in detail about them. On condition number 3, that you moved and they issued a warrant for you, you pled not guilty. At the hearing office, they found probable cause that you violated that condition, that you had been sleeping at your girlfriend's house, but would come home in the morning before going to work. You stated that you didn't know you had to report her address even though you were staying there as your excuse. Is that what you got to say about that today?
Yes, sir. You know, I would go spend the night, but every morning before work, I would come home.
And what would you go do at home in the morning?
I would just wait to go to work at the Ford Motor Company, and I'll be there like until like at least 4:30, you know.
So you're not denying that you wasn't home, you're just saying you would go back home.
I would go back home.
There all the time. All right. On the violations in number 4, you involved in as evidence of your violation, Officer Babin submitted Point Coupee Parish Sheriff's Office call log, a letter from Point Coupee Parish Sheriff's Office Criminal Division Deputy Brad Joffron, and an affidavit of probable cause in the cases. You stated that the charges were false at the preliminary hearing. In reference to the domestic battery charge, the subject stated that he was in the bathroom, has bathroom problems at night, and he keeps a urinal by his bed with bleach inside. He was holding the bottle while arguing with his girlfriend, Angelica Smith. She hit him and the urine splashed everywhere. He denied intentionally throwing urine on anybody. He stated it was an accident. In reference to the ammunition, subject stated he found it while cleaning cars at work and took it. The subject admitted to illegal use of drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia because he was going through some tough personal times. You admit, it looks like you admitted to it. Tell us a little bit about that. What happened there?
Yes, sir. About the drugs, Like, when I started dating the girl, like, it's like her family, I guess they didn't want me with her, so they'll call the police on me for nothing, and I'm like, man, it was hard just getting the cops called on me for nothing, so and that's when I started to use the drug. Cause I didn't know what else to do, but I needed some help.
Are you still seeing her?
No, sir. No, sir.
And you telling me that you knew the cops were coming for you, so you started using drugs then? That
No,
don't make.
after they kept calling, so it was like 3 times that they called the cops on me, and they said it was a domestic disturbance, but it wasn't nothing. Like, they just wanted her to leave me alone, but she didn't want to leave me alone.
And what about the urine flying everywhere? What were y'all fighting about? How did that all end up?
We did have a small argument. It wasn't nothing major. We did have a small argument. And I did, I had it was in my hand. And when we was having a small argument, she did hit my hand, and that's how it ended up splashing. So as for me just throwing it, no, sir.
In the ammunition? You stole it at work?
No, I didn't steal it. No, I didn't steal it.
That's what you said. You took it out of a car you were cleaning.
Yeah, like the cars, I just take the stuff out of the cars, and I was just throwing it in a bag, like, it wasn't stolen because they have a camera in the shed where I wash the cars at, so it's a camera in the shed. But anything like in the cars that's not supposed to be in them, we could take. So I just was collecting them. I didn't know that I couldn't have them. Like, I thought it was just a firearm.
So anybody leaves a box of ammunition, a case of ammunition in the car, you can take whatever they leave behind?
It wasn't like I get like 2 out.
I know it's no ammunition,
How
but
many rounds was it?
I'm wondering about that policy of taking stuff out of people's cars.
No, it wasn't somebody's car. It was a car that was coming back to the lot. So these cars that we clean, they don't go back out. Like, they might be a trade in, and it was just left in the vehicle.
Okay, that makes better sense. All right. All right. And then condition number 9. Agree to visit the place of your home or of employment. You pled guilty to that violation at the preliminary hearing. How do you plead to it now?
As the payment for my parole.
No, this was number 9. The visits at your residence or place of employment. The officer said they couldn't make the contact because you wasn't there. You already said that you were at your girlfriend's house. So y'all was on a miss each other's schedule, obviously.
Any other time when he did come, when he was getting ready to come, he would call. Well, I never got a call. He said there was no contact for the month of July, but after I was booked into jail, when I did come, he came to see me on I was booked in on the 28th. He came to see me on the 12th. He told me he did see where I did contact him the month of July.
So, of those pending charges that you had, when's your next court dates? You have court dates on these things?
I have one pending charge, and that's the possession of drug paraphernalia. I think it's January the 12th, I think.
For what charge? For which one? Possession of what?
Drug paraphernalia, sir.
All right.
I do want some help to help better myself, I don't want to do the drugs anymore. I just want to live without. I just want a better life. I had a rough life growing up. I want a better life.
All right. So we'll give you a final, well, anybody got a question?
So you telling us you have a bad drug problem, is what you're saying, you need some help?
Yes, sir, I do want some help.
Okay.
I've called in for the Grove, like the treatment center. I want some help. I wanna go and get some help.
All right, I'm gonna call for an executive session.
Morales,
Yes.
Revocation,
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Do the best.
Y'all are still on mute. Now you got it.
All right, Mr. Levine, we've discussed your case, and today's your lucky day. We're gonna give you a chance at substance abuse, what you're asking for. And in lieu of revocation, we're gonna recommend you to go to Steve Hall Substance Abuse Treatment Program and work on domestic abuse class while you're in that same program, and that you have no contact with Angelica Smith once you release.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Freeman.
Good luck to you.
I concur, with Mr. Barrow.
All right, Mr. Levine, I do agree. So this is your opportunity. We're gonna try to get you the help that you've asked for. You gotta sit on the front row and pay attention.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Now, they like it. That's why he was chilling. Those are actually some of them.
All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is reconvening. We are now at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center on Thursday, November 6, 2025. Good morning, Warden. Would you and your staff introduce yourself for the record, sir?
Good morning, Jason Russ, Assistant Warden.
Christy LeBlanc, classification.
Jackie, Secretary of Records. Ashley Fleming, MD, psychiatrist.
Well, thank y'all for accommodating us this morning, and we have before us Mr. Jones. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning. There was all from.
Would you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Well, my name is Edward Jones, spelled EDWLD. That's an EDW 435 GOV. Joanne is. BOC number 423-991.
That's what I got. Yes, sir. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yeah.
Mr. J. You do?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Well, I'm going to just read some identification into the record and ask either you or the warden to confirm that it's accurate. Mr. Jones is classified as a third felony offender. He's currently serving a 45-year sentence. He was sentenced in Bossier Parish in 2006 for manslaughter and obstruction of justice. His parole eligibility is November 13, 2021, with a good time date of February 10, 2033. Is that information correct, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, that's true.
Warden, is that information is correct to your records?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Jones' case has been assigned to Mr. Byron. I'll turn it over to him.
All right, Mr. Jones, would you please tell us what did you do to get yourself in trouble and get you this sentence? And what have you done since to make yourself a better person?
Well, they gave me a non-conviction code when they said they came to apprehend me, review my memorandum rights, a handgun on this Joseph. Mr. Barra.
Yes, the doctor.
Mr. Barra.
Yeah, can y'all help me understand him? I can't understand what he's saying.
Henry Jones is one of our mental health patients. He resides in our mental health dome of Hunt Special Unit number 2. That's why Dr. Fleming is here. So I'm gonna defer to her and let her speak at this time.
Do you want me to just translate what he's saying at this time?
If you can, just briefly. I was trying to get him to tell us what he did and what he's done since he's been in jail.
One more time, Mr. Jones, so I can hear you. What, can you answer his question of what you did to get in prison and what you've done since being in prison?
Well, they gave me a sentence of homicide and a murder on that. 4 years earlier this year.
They gave him a sentence of homicide.
They got me for a concealed weapon.
For a concealed weapon.
For 1 day.
For 1 day.
Okay. I understand. I'll be able to help him with that in a minute. What about why does he think now's a good time for us to release him?
Why would you be a good candidate for parole today?
Well, I live my blue black bastard when they said that I had to bag up Ben Street ago on my DS 05-11-2033. DS Jerusalem.
He's had to bag up being a security guard and a drill sergeant, and then he gave some numbers.
Okay. Can y'all tell us anything about his behavior there and his current situation?
So Mr. Jones is housed, excuse me, Mr. Jones is housed in our Hunt Special Unit. which is our, it's the Hunt Special Unit 2, which is kind of a chronic care psychiatric unit. And Mr. Jones maintains the highest privilege level in that unit, being a privilege level 3. He's not been, since being in that unit, being in a disciplinary issue in there. He takes his medication regularly. He follows the rules. He keeps his area immaculate. So he's not been any disciplinary issue for us in the Hunt Special Unit. He participates in the programs that are available to him when they're offered.
As far as his disciplinary record, he hasn't had a disciplinary report since 2018. He has completed anger management and phase 1 of living in balance and received 90 days CTRP credits for that. And like Dr. Fleming says, due to where he's living at, where he's housed, he does participate with the program programming that's being offered to him at that time.
Which is a little bit different than the structured. So he has done the living in balance and, as Ward said, the cage or rage class, but a lot of the programming that's offered in that area is not on the CTRP credit list just because of the nature of the housing unit itself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I can fill in a little bit of the blanks about what happened on November 12th, 2001. The offender admitted to shooting the victim who owed him $150 in crack cocaine. He told police they could find the gun he used to kill him under his bed, at which time they did. The bullet entered the left side of the victim's neck and exited the right side of his head near his ear. We have very, very strong opposition from law enforcement. Everybody is opposed: the judge, the DA, the attorney general, the sheriff, the chief of police. We do have one person on Zoom, I believe it is, to speak on his behalf, of Ms. Tanya Jones. Can we bring up Ms. Tanya Jones?
Yes, I'm not here to speak on behalf. I was here just to observe and to see, if he was making coherent sentences or coherent statements. The last time we had the hearing, he was not, and his mother was in opposition, his brother was in opposition, and I'm here just to observe to see if there was any change.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, if we don't have anybody else to speak. Do my colleagues have any questions?
I do. Dr. Fleming, he's been, I think, at Hunt since 2006 or sometime around there. How long has he been at HSU?
19 years.
He says 19 years. He's been there since I arrived in 2016.
Okay. All right. And the last time we met in 2022, we saw Mr. Jones. And at that time, staff indicated that he continues to be in the most appropriate placement. Is that still true?
I'm sorry, the warden was informing me that he has in fact been in HSU since his arrival in 2006.
Oh, okay. And so it was felt at that time in 2022 that he was in the most, he was in the most appropriate placement. I would assume that's still the case.
He is still in the Hunt Special Unit. I believe since that time we've opened up HSU 2, which is a more chronic care unit, and that's where he resides at this time.
Okay. Any other questions?
All right, I guess it's time to vote. I'll vote first. Mr. Jones, today I'm going to deny your parole request based on there's not a real good reentry plan for you, and we have strong law enforcement opposition.
Mr. Barrow.
Mr. Freeman.
I'm sorry, Mr. Freeman.
I concur, Mr. Bauer.
And as do I believe that continuing his mental health treatment there at Hunt is in the best interest of public safety. So my vote today is to deny his parole. Thank you, Dr. Fleming. All right, good morning. Committee on Parole is reconvening at Raymond LaGorde Correctional Center. It's 10:30 a.m. on November 6, 2025. Good morning, Warden. Would you and your staff introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Deputy Warden Stephen Dorhorn.
Raven Heath classification.
Goes aboard on records.
It's everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And we have before us Mr. Parker. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is Patrick Young Parker. My DOC number is 3859992.
Right, yes, sir. So that's what I have. So let me tell you what I got and you tell me if it's accurate. You're classified as a second felony offender. You're currently serving a 70-year sentence, having been sentenced in April of 2012 in Ascension Parish for 2 counts of manslaughter. Your parole eligibility date was May 28, 2024, and you have a good time release date in January of 2055. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. I'm going to turn it over to him.
Okay, Mr. Parker, tell me, what did you do to get yourself put into this situation, and why do you think we should consider paroling you today?
Situation was a bad situation, and I take full responsibility for my actions. And but I just, I've been trying to better myself every day since I've been here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, tell me a little bit. I mean, what happened? Tell me what caused the call?
I was a trauma victim. December 11 of 1999, I was shot in the neck. And I didn't know it at the time that I was suffering from PTSD. And I was in a relationship, and the relationship was rocky. And I guess, things went bad, and I made a wrong decision, a decision that I regret every day. And I strive every day how to do things different, And not just the way I live. I get up every morning. I start my day off with prayer, and I strive to help other inmates not make the decision that I made to cause me to be here. So I try to do the best that I can and continue to.
Okay, we'll get more detail because I'm gonna have some questions for you during our interview. Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. Parker?
Yes, sir, Mr. Pete. He, you'll notice in his conduct, he did start out pretty rocky when he first came back into DOC in 2012. But you did see a change in his behavior around 2019 was one of the last write-ups he did get. And you'll see that he began engaging in some different programming from living in balance to cage your rage. And he has applied himself. He even took a couple of courses for forklift and whatnot. So he did obtain some classes and some trades. So you can really see that he does want to try to make a change and better himself. And he's only a pre-release tutor as well for us at the facility. So he's doing good.
Okay, thank you very much, Warden. Okay, now I'm gonna state the people that are here to speak on his behalf. Kerry Myers with the Louisiana Parole Project. Arian Crandall is here but will not be speaking on Zoom. Alicia Phillips' aunt is here, will be speaking on Zoom. Jerry Phillips' cousin is on Zoom. And Eleanor Phillips, the mother, also wishes to speak and is on Zoom. So let's go with you first, Mr. Myers.
Yes, good morning, Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project. I'm here to let the board know that we've accepted Mr. Parker as a client in our program. We've as the warden said, we've watched Mr. Parker's record over the last 6 years. You can actually see the change. You can see the light went on. He hasn't had a write-up in 6 years. In 2023, perseverance, he earned his GED. He continues. He's taken victim impact. He's in AANA. He's completed Malachi Dad's Boys to Men, living in balance, anger management, thinking for a change. You can see that's where the maturity has come in, and that's why Parole Project is here supporting him today. We know that he's served right now at approximately 25 years, and he is his current age at 48. He's kind of in a sweet spot for both employment and giving back to his community. He has a long-term residence plan. Parole Project, while he's in transitional programming and housing, will help him become proficient. I say master, I haven't mastered technology yet. Become proficient in technology, financial management, consumer skills, social norms. He'll meet with our social workers and have a full evaluation for any recommendations toward any substance abuse treatment or any trauma-related counseling that he needs. So we understand that, he was denied at his last hearing, but he's continued to move forward. He's continued to progress. And we believe Mr. Parker has made significant strides. And should this board grant him Parole Project, we'll be happy to take him as a client.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Myers. Okay, next we'll hear from Alicia Phillips, your aunt. What you want us to know about Mr. Parker, Ms. Phillips?
Good morning. How you guys doing? Patrick's my nephew, and I visited him last weekend at the prison, and we talked a lot. And I don't think, but by talking to him, I think he ready for rehabilitation into society. He been at 24 years. He hadn't gotten in any trouble, and he been doing some things in prison since he's been in prison, not getting in trouble, but trying to prepare himself for when he do come back out into society. And I think his mind is on the right path now. We had a long conversation, long talk, and I think he's ready to come out in society, and he got family to support him and to keep up with him and stuff like that. A nephew that's going to help him get a job and lead him through the way. He's been in jail a long time. So he's going to have that support behind him, and we there for him. And he talked to me about the other side with the victims. He's sorry for what all happened. And I myself, I know the families, and I empathize for them, and I have sympathy for them. I really do, heartfully, I do. But with Patrick, I think Pat is ready to come out into society and do the right things.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Next, we'll have Eleanor Phillips, your mother.
Is she on the phone? Speaking. All right. Ms. Phillips?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Well, we have you on the phone. What would you like us to know?
I would like y'all to know that Patrick has really changed his life. I think he deserves such a change. Here to help him to do what needs to be done. And just think he deserves another chance.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to go to those that are here in opposition. We have Shaquille Babin, victim's son. We have Quintrice Bell, victim's daughter. She will be speaking. Quindacia Bell, victim's daughter. Paula Bell, victim's mother. I'm gonna just say Miss Babin, victim's daughter, who will be speaking. Andrea Landry, victim's sister, and Linda Sewell, victim's sister. So y'all decide who wants to go first and go to the podium, please.
Would I be able to speak on behalf of Patrick Park? This is Jared Phillip.
Didn't have you down to speak, but yes, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, you'd be number 4. We don't allow but 3. Correct? Right. So, no, that's it. That's the rules for both sides. So, go ahead, ma'am, introduce yourself and tell us what you want us to know.
I'm Patrice Bell, Patrice's younger daughter. I'm gonna start off by saying, no, his family think he deserves a second chance. But what about us? We don't get that second chance. We'll never get that second chance. And I'm not speaking for them. I don't know how they feel. But as far as me, my mom, and my sister, we'll never get that second chance. Our kids can't see their grandma. They don't know who their grandma is. I barely know who my mother is. They say he's been in here for 24 years. It's not 24. It haven't been 24. I just turned 24 October 13th. I was 2 years old when he took our mother away from us. So it has been 24 years. And from becoming the adult I am today, saying sorry don't change nothing. When you say you're sorry to something, you think you make that mistake and, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get out. No, that don't change anything. That don't change what you've done. It was a mistake, a bad one. Yes, it was. And I think he should own up to it and just let it be. Okay. Our minds will never change. It's not gonna never change. We hurt. All these classes and all that he going through, hey, who wouldn't do it to try to get out? But you're only 48. You got more than enough time to continue to do what you was doing. You still got life behind you. Who says you wouldn't get out and do the same thing? You're a changed person in front of the law. You're a changed person in front of the people who you need to be in front of to get out. But when you get out, who says you will do what you're saying you're doing? Or what you will do, should I say? It's not right. And we just, if you want to do us that favor, just do us that favor and just stay where you at. Because every time we have to come sit up in here, it hurts. Every time we have to take off our job, it hurts. Every time we have to think about how we was raised and how we had to live the life that we're living now without parents, it hurt. It's not something that you could just look back and like, oh, it happened. So forget about it. You can't forget about stuff like that. I damn sure don't forget about stuff like that. I don't. So like I said, if anybody wants to do us a favor, stay where you at. That's the only thing I'm asking. Stay where you at. It's no good to be let loose. Like we gonna forever be hurt.
Yes, ma'am.
He got a mama. He got an auntie. He got cousins. He got that. His mama was on the phone speaking for him. You think our mama could stand up here and speak for herself? No. Whether your relationship bad or not, still don't give you the right to do what you did. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And I don't know. You're next. Okay.
Good morning. I'm the daughter of Albert Landry, and I just want to say that Patrick should stay where he at because his family still talk to him, go see him, but I can't see my dad. My kids can't see my dad. My siblings can't see our dad, or his sister or his parents can't see him. And I just feel like Patrick should just stay where he at. I heard every day, my dad can't see me, but he haven't seen me grow up to be the one that I am now. So I just want to say he should get a second chance.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate y'all coming. Okay, Patrick, let's get down to some questioning. Okay, your relationship with with the victim. It was very rocky, huh? You had several domestic violence charges against you?
I didn't have several domestic violence charges against me. It's just I wasn't saying that it was rock. The relationship was rock. I wasn't the one always calling the police, and I wasn't always the aggressor. You know,
Okay.
understanding out the situation, it is what it is right now.
Okay. So were you arrested 7 times for domestic violence?
Yeah, I didn't really recall.
Well, that's what the pre-parole says. You were arrested 7 different times for domestic violence against the same victim. Okay. What about the Blue Walters? I asked you to go to Blue Walters. You decided not to go. Why?
I never refused Blue Waters. You told me I needed intensive substance abuse. I've taken NAA and I've taken Living in Balance.
Yeah, but we got a paper says that you could decline Blue Walters, and I know I specifically said Blue Walters. Why?
I don't recall signing the paper saying.
You didn't have to sign it. We were here in this hearing room, and I recommended that you go to Blue Walters because I thought you had a bad drug problem, and I thought you needed the help. But obviously, you thought you knew better, and you just went to Living in Balance.
No,
Okay. Your medium custody and fair work history. Warden, is there any particular reason? We don't see that often. Medium custody and fair work history. Usually that means y'all had some problems.
He did have some disciplinary issues, you know, early on, like I mentioned earlier. Like I tell you, what is on that? But he hasn't presented any issues disciplinary wise, and like you said, about the last 6 years or so.
Okay, so you think that's why it just stayed like that? Okay. Yeah. All right, and then my other question is, I'm looking and maybe I missed it, but I see no victim classes. Did you take any victim classes?
Yeah, I took victim impact.
Okay, what did you get from victim impact? I don't list.
No, it's here. 2023.
Okay, what you got out of victim impact?
Victim impact, I got to see the side of the victims, and I take full responsibility for my actions, and I see the pain that I've caused them, and I regret the decision that I made that day. And since then, I've been trying to better myself every day. You know what I'm saying? Making better decisions. And you know, I try to live one day at a time and try to better myself.
Okay. And you also were shot, right? When they got there, you was found shot in a chair?
Yes, sir.
Who shot you?
Yes, I was moving fast and
Who shot you? That's what I'm asking.
shot myself.
Shot yourself. Okay. All right. I have no further questions.
I got a question. You said you had a rocky relationship. Well, what about Mr. Landry? What was your relationship with him? Why was he shot?
Yeah, I guess in the past, way before this happened, me and him we had an altercation that occurred. And I guess when I went that night, I didn't really go there for the hurt or harm nobody. I really was going through a PTSD phase, I guess. And I really went there to see Quintrice. And just to hear them talk, you know, and to see how I impacted their life, I really regret it. You know, every day that I get up every day and it's before me every day. So I understand the way they feel, you know what I'm saying? I understand why they feel the way they feel. but I'm not the same person I was. Every day I wake up today, I keep God in front of me. I have a relationship with Jesus. So, you know, I want to ask for their forgiveness because I feel like it'll be too much to ask for. You know, and I take full responsibility for my actions. But every day from this, since I've accepted Jesus in my life, I strive to be a better man. And I strive to help the inmates around me, you know. So I'm not just, it ain't just changed before this board. It's my life. I have changed, not the same person.
I understand that, but my question was, why did you shoot Mr. Landry? You didn't answer my question. You said an altercation. What was your altercation about? How long ago was it? Or was he just someone you just decided to shoot on the way out? That's what I'm getting at. What was your problem with Mr. Landry? Why did he have to get shot?
Guess it just was, you know, situation that happened and
What's the situation? What happened?
why
I want to know why he was shot. If you're not gonna tell me, that's fine too, but I would like to know why Mr. Landry was shot. You already told us why.
we had past words in the past and me and him may never see eye to eye. So, you know, by him being there at that time, and I never really had a friendship type of relationship with him. I was really going over there to see my daughter, which is Quintrine's. I had asked to take blood tests to see if she was my daughter at the time. They didn't give me a blood test until I was in Angola. You know, I had been asking all this time to make sure she was my daughter. If she was my daughter, then it was good. You know, I was trying to be there in her life. I really do still love her. And I understand how she feels. And I just lost it. You know.
All right, thank you.
Let me ask, Mr. Parker, you mentioned living in balance. Did you complete both phases?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because my record didn't indicate an end date on phase 2. That's all I got.
Okay.
All right, I don't see any other questions, Mr. Parker, so I think we're ready to vote. Mr. Friedman.
Parker, I'm glad you're doing better, but you still hadn't served but 21 years of a 70-year sentence, which really isn't enough for one victim, much less two. So, and right now my vote is going to be to deny, and law enforcement and victim opposition, and hopefully you'll stay on this same path. Good luck to you.
I also vote to deny for the exact same reasons as Mr. Freeman, but I would add a recommendation to complete the victim accountability letter writing class and to complete the Blue Walters that was told to you at the last hearing.
All right, I do agree, Mr. Parker, based on the strong opposition you see today. I'm so happy that the warden says you kind of started turning the corner in 2019. Thank you for your work that you're doing as a pre-release tutor. We all think you have a little more work to do, so stay the course. We'll see you again. Today your parole's been denied, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we are ready for Mr. Coleman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is William Coleman, 90578.
Yes, sir, Mr. Coleman. And so, Mr. Coleman, you're classified as a fifth felony offender serving a 50-year sentence out of Jefferson Parish. You were convicted for armed robbery and as a habitual offender armed robbery. You have a parole eligibility date, August 1st, 2021. Your good time date is in January of 2049. Is that information correct, Mr. Coleman?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Barra, seated to my left. Would you answer his questions?
Coleman, would you go ahead and tell us what you did to get yourself in trouble and why you think now is the time for us to let you go?
Well, I repeated the same mistake I've been repeating for a while. And I believe I've outgrown that part of my life. Not that I still feel that I need help to follow the goal that I've set for myself, because really all I want is redemption. I'm tired of being that guy. That's pretty much it.
We should let you go just because you're tired of being that guy? Give us a little more.
Well, I believe I could live a more productive life out there. My job skills have increased since I've been incarcerated because they've taught me how to fabricate and weld. I was a rigger when I was out there. Now I can make top wages. I believe I've changed over the years, and that lifestyle just don't suit me no more. I'm tired of it.
In that lifestyle, you had a lot of thefts and burglaries and robberies and assaults. What do you blame that on? You on drugs?
Drugs, yes, sir.
What kind of drugs?
Most anything I can get my hands on. I got a real problem with that.
When's the last time you did any drugs?
It's been 20 plus years.
20 plus years.
Yes, sir.
Have you completed any programs since your last parole hearing?
Yes, sir. Whoa, since the last one, no, I haven't been involved in any other. All I've been doing is working.
Why would you not try to be in any program since the last hearing?
Well, I was told unless we contact you, don't register for nothing else, so I didn't.
Whoever told you that gave you some bad advice.
Just follow what I was told.
Whoever told you that gave you some bad advice, because at the last hearing, we did tell you, somebody told you that it would probably be good for you to get some long-term substance abuse treatment because you got long-term substance abuse problem. And that's one of the things I went straight to look for to see if you had done it, and you hadn't done it.
I don't know that they have that here. I think I have to go outside of the facility, and I don't know how to do that. Because I really.
Is that a valid answer? Y'all don't have long-term? Y'all can't send them anywhere?
I don't know.
We got AA and I. Yeah, and Steve Hall.
Okay. The Steve Hall program is the only program I'm familiar with that I've heard of.
Well, that would have been a great one.
I thought I had to go there through the parole board. I don't know how to get there.
All right. Warden, y'all have anything to add to about him? Behavior, conduct?
His conduct is good. He is a trustee and he, like you said, he is a welder. But I definitely would also recommend that he enroll in some victim impact. But if he is granted today, he would definitely need some long-term treatment. You know, you can look at his criminal history, it's extensive and it's all drug-induced behavior. And he would definitely need that same support outside of this. But, and we do have him on the backlog. I wanted to see him get his GED. You know, he was performing low on those scores, but I think it is possible for him to obtain that. So.
Let's hear from Mr. Kerry Myers.
Yes, good morning. Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project here on behalf of Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman and I talked just the other day, and as you stated, and you know, we know his denial in 2023 had a lot to do with the lack of long-term drug treatment programs. While we can help support him through our counseling and social work staff, I also agree that it would be very beneficial if this board granted his parole today conditional, possibly the STAR program at Angola or Steve Hoyle, whichever becomes more suitable and more expedient to get in. We would also recommend that should he complete that and should he be granted and complete that parole project, we'll follow up with that. Our social workers will do the evaluations necessary, and he would follow up any additional treatment once he completes that program and would be released. He is a welder. He's been a welder for a very long time. He talked about, he does have over 500 days of CTRP credits. As a maintenance welder, since his last hearing, that's what he does. He works. It keeps him busy. It keeps him out of trouble, keeps him productive. He has a low TIGA score. He's participated in a number of faith-based programs. He hasn't had a disciplinary infraction since 2018. Drugs are the problem. And we know he needs that support system. So I would ask this board to consider granting him conditionally upon the completion of a long-term substance abuse program.
Thank you. All right, we have in opposition, Mr. Randall Myers.
Yeah, good morning, Randall Myers, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. You know, it sounds like everybody's kind of on board with the same thing. You know, my opposition has been because in 2022, he was denied, told he needed to get a long-term substance abuse program, and Steve Hall was recommended. He didn't take the actions necessary to go get that accomplished, apparently. In 2023, the same thing. And again, he didn't take the actions that he needed to take to make that happen. And then here he is again, and he's got the same problem. I think he should be denied. I would like to see him get put in the Steve Hall program to get some substance abuse program, because he definitely needs that. And he's even admitted that. And I'd like to see him get, as the warden stated, the victim, some victim courses, as well as work on his GED. The other concern I have is very limited family support. So for those reasons today, we're opposed to his request.
Thank you. All right, do my colleagues have any questions?
I have one. And you mentioned, Mr. Coleman, you set some goals for yourself. Give us 2 of your goals.
Well, one, I'd like to get back. Since I've been introduced to this parole project, before they came to see me, there's a lot of ex-cons, inmates, so forth, whatever you want to call them, that are being productive with that program, and programs that are like that, that are helping other inmates that are transitioning out. As support groups, I'd heard there's one they meet once a year at Lafitte LaRose State Park, they all come together and they put all their cards on the table, their problems, whatever's going on, and they sit there and help each other out. Like if they feel that they're going back to the drug life, they sit there and support them. It's like a big support group. And what makes it stand out to me is we all understand one another because we've all been through the same thing, and it's easy.
Right. Right, I understand. I get where you're coming from. So that's one. What's your second goal? What's another one?
To have peace. To get my life back together, to see if there is a possibility that I'm a better person than I've been.
You don't know if you are or not?
I believe that I am, but I've never had the opportunity to prove it. I've been incarcerated my whole life.
All right. Well, thank you for your honesty. I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Freeman, any question?
Nope.
All right, ready to vote?
Yes.
Mr. Byron.
All right, Mr. Coleman. Today I'm gonna vote to grant your parole conditional with the condition that you complete the Steve Hall 9-month inpatient program and that you complete the victim impact program and that you complete the victim letter writing program before your release. On release, I'm gonna order you to go to the parole project for 1 year with outpatient substance abuse, AA meetings, NA meetings, a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and random drug screens. So we're setting you up. If you do what you're supposed to, you're gonna get some help, you're gonna get some support, and you're gonna be turned out a better person ready to go. And after that, if you mess up, it's all on you.
Mr. Freeman.
My vote is to grant conditional upon completion of a long-term DOC substance abuse treatment. And that he go to the parole project. I was gonna say 6 months, but I think a year would be better since he doesn't have the support out there that's really needed.
And Mr. Coleman, I agree. You acknowledge you need help. So to the parole project with all the special conditions that's been articulated, you understand those conditions?
And
Now you have the opportunity to prove it to us and you.
I appreciate y'all.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Morales.
How you doing?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
Hi,
Introduce yourself, sir. Tell us your name and DOC number.
Javier Morales, 713-183.
All right, Mr. Morales, you are classified as a second felony offender. You were sentenced just this year in March 2025 in Jefferson Parish, possession with intent to distribute cocaine. You received a 5-year sentence. Then you have another sentencing, 2 counts, distribution of cocaine in St. Charles Parish. You received 5 years on each of those. Excuse me, that's 3 counts of distribution, but those are running concurrently. So it's a total of 5 years. Your parole eligibility date is July 7, 2026, and good time is January 8, 2027. Is all that accurate?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Would you answer Mr. Freeman's questions?
Okay, Mr. Javier. First off, I mean, you started using so late in life. What got you on the cocaine binge, or you just selling to make money?
No, yes, the usage.
Usage? Okay, and what started it? I mean, what made you turn to cocaine this late in life?
I don't have no idea. I just guess dumb, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Be lonely, maybe.
Have you ever been to any kind of treatment, inpatient, outpatient?
No.
And how long have you been in jail?
And 6 months, something like that. About 6 months, 7 months.
Okay. No, so you hadn't even, have you enrolled in any classes? Have you had time to even do that?
Yes, I do.
What you enrolled in?
I gotta think the word. Yeah.
He's currently enrolled in victim impact.
Okay. All right. That's the only one he's enrolled in, Warren?
2 classes today. And the shuffle. And then the shuffle is 1.
Yeah, you have a good time. Well, I'm actually, you have a good time date of 1/8/27. So if you took advantage of what DOC has to offer, you'd be out in January of 2026 because you could earn up to a year of good time.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You hadn't even been there long enough for us to get you in any of those classes. I definitely think you need Celebrate Recovery or some kind of substance abuse programming. And that's where we caught today. Warden, do you have anything to say about Mr. Morales?
Yes, sir. He hasn't, like I said, he hasn't been with us very long at all. He definitely needs living imbalance, low phases. He obviously does have a severe drug problem. We do have him backlog for our GED class, and I did speak to our staff about seeing about those classes on living imbalance and whatnot to get him involved.
Appreciate that, Warden.
Outside of that, he's not very far away, like you mentioned. So we're going.
Okay, and now can I hear from Mr. Randall Myers?
Good morning, Randall Myers, Assistant DA Jefferson Parish. That's my concern with Mr. Morales, the same as yours. That he's had no programs. He needs some substance abuse programming. He also had 2 arrests for DWI. One was a conviction. So I think substance abuse is clearly needed, as well as whatever other programs they have available. As you said, Mr. Freeman, he can then earn some good time and then get out a little earlier than what his good time date currently says.
I have no questions.
Any questions?
No questions.
All right, I don't see any other questions. Mr. Morales will be voting. Mr. Freeman?
Mr. Morales, as I stated, you just hadn't had time to get the stuff that I think you need to succeed on the outside. So at this time, I'm grateful to say that I'm gonna have to deny, and I urge the warden, please try to get him in those classes, as soon as you can. I know y'all got backlogs, but let's try to get him rolling.
Yes.
Mr. Byron?
I vote to deny for the same reason.
And as do I, Mr. Morales. You got some work to do. Today, your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Good morning,
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Johnny Jermaine Williams, 481557.
All right, Mr. Williams. You are classified as a six felony offender, currently serving an 18-year sentence for out of Terrebonne Parish, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, and possession with intent to distribute heroin. You have a parole eligibility date next year, July 22nd, 2026, with a good time date in May of 2028. Is that correct? So, how long have you been in jail, Mr. Williams?
Since January of 22.
Well, how long is that? Do the math.
3 years, 10 months.
3 years, 10 months. I knew you knew. What's the longest period of time that you've been in jail ever in your life?
7 years.
Where'd you do that time? Where?
Between Claiborne Correctional Center and LaSalle and Terrebonne Parish.
I see. And you were released in 2009?
It's fine.
And so I don't see any good time credits on your record. You have any?
No, ma'am, to be honest with you, I wrote for classes and I was put on backlog. But to be honest, ma'am, I really don't want the good time. I really rather go to a transitional program or work relief and spend much time as I can there instead of going just right back out to the streets.
Well, you have a federal detainer, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. And on that, the mom spoke with the federal DA. He said he can't do nothing for me here, but if I was back over there, he would put me in the programs I need and help me get the job.
Yeah, I don't have that information. I'm gonna tell you, I'm concerned. We're gonna hear from your sister in just a minute, but I am concerned because you need some treatment. I don't think whatever you said, halfway house or anything like that is gonna be an option, at least as far as I'm concerned, till after you do some treatment programs. I think you need them. I think you agree that you need them.
That's mine.
All right, Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. Williams?
We did have a good conversation yesterday, and, he did acknowledge, about his substance abuse problem he has. And, he's definitely on the backlog list for those programs. We'll get him to it. We also talked about obtaining a trade. So he, because he admitted to that as well, about getting out, not having a skill set to be able to obtain a job and get gainful employment. So I really feel like he's at the right place, to be here at this facility. He can obtain a few of those things while he's here, and we'll keep moving forward,
Good. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Mr. Williams, your sister is on Zoom with us today. Amita, could we hear from you, please?
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes. Go ahead. What do you want us to know?
Basically, when he got locked up, I was also trying to call for him to get into classes so he could get some good time and take some trades. But they kept telling me that he had a detainer with the federal agents. When I talked to the federal agents, they told me that he didn't have a detainer, that they were through with him, that it was the state. I just kept getting the runaround as far as trying to get him into classes so he can take some trades.
Well, I think you hear that we gonna work on that for him. And the detainer, as far as we can see, is active. I see something dated April of this year. So, Mr. Williams.
That's mine.
You receptive to the training that the warden has spoke about?
Ma'am, to be honest with you, I do have trades and skill sets that, that I placed myself in before I been to this facility when I was locked up before. I'm a cook by trade, and I work.
And put that to good use. I'm talking about the other programs.
The treatment program, I mean, as far as the treatment programs, I would like to be in, but just as far as going AANA here is not going to get me the treatment I need, the treatment that I want.
Better than nothing.
Yes, sir, it is, but I mean, it's more to it than just AANA.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, look, any questions? All right, I don't see any other questions by my colleagues. I think we can all agree that you do need some programs. You haven't had any. So my vote today, Mr. Williams, based on your criminal history, which is very concerning, and lack of programs, my vote today is going to be to deny your parole. Mr. Freeman.
My vote is the same for the same reason.
Mr. Byra.
I concur for the same reasons and recommend that you do get several programs before you come back to see us.
All right, Mr. Williams, you got some work to do. The warden said he's going to help you out there. So good luck to you. Work hard. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Roan. How are you?
Good, how you?
Good. Would you give us your name and DOC number?
Name is CLYDIE Rone, DOC is 555926.
Sorry, Mr. Roan, and you know how this process goes because you've been on a parole panel before. So let's just get right to it. You're here today. Well, you're a second felony offender. You're currently serving a 20-year sentence. You have in Caddo Parish, you were sentenced March of 2014 for 2 counts of molestation of a juvenile. You have a parole eligibility date, which was January 5th of 2023. You don't earn good time, and your full term date is in January of 2033. Is that accurate information?
Ma'am.
All right. So tell us, just in your own words, briefly, tell us what you did to get in jail, and why do you think we should consider you for early release today?
I inappropriately touched my daughter, stepdaughter, and niece. My niece, I touched her breast and buttocks. My stepdaughter, I rubbed her between her legs.
So why do you think we should consider your early release today?
On November the 2nd, 2022, I was denied parole the moment I opened my mouth because I was still in denial. Today, I sit here and I accept full responsibility for my actions. My victims whom I've harmed, I apologize for the hurt, shame, humiliation, and embarrassment that I put them through. I was supposed to have been their protector, and instead I took advantage of their innocence, and I'm truly sorry.
All right.
I was denied parole. I didn't let that discourage me. I immediately finished the programs asked of me by the board. I then enrolled in Revocation to continue my education and betterment. I also received a Bachelor of Science degree where I studied criminal justice and business administrative management, which I graduated cum laude. I also received the Presidential Scholars Award. I owned my own small business when I was out there for about 2 years, which I intend to reopen. And if that's possible, within time, I should be able to employ 3 to 5 employees. And currently I work on the industrial compound as a mechanic, which I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. I also like to apologize to all those affected by my actions, my community, their families, my family. I'm deeply sorry.
Well, I'm going to ask you some questions in just a minute. Warden, is there anything you want to share about Mr. Roan?
Mr. Roney, he pretty much covered everything, what he's accomplished while he's been in jail, and his conduct is good as well.
Okay, thank you. And so, Mr. Roan, you mentioned you had a small business before you came to jail. What kind of small business was that?
I'm an auto mechanic, which I've been doing over 40 years.
Yeah, I see really, really good ratings by your work supervisor there. You do an exceptional job from what I can see. When did you get your bachelor's degree?
2022. I started 2017.
So you finished after your parole hearing?
Should have been just before.
Okay.
May 5th, 22 for the graduation date.
So, I did make those notes that you, in the record that I saw, you claimed, you were really drunk and you had periods of blackout when all this activity took place, crimes took place. Are you still married?
No.
And so you have no contact with either what about your niece?
I've spoken with her several times.
Tiara?
Lateria.
Leteri, sorry. And so because, no contact with your stepdaughter?
We was talking, some after I was convicted and sent here.
But you're not married to her mother?
No.
So you took Living in Balance, I see, to address your your alcohol problem. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm attending AANA.
You're still involved?
No, ma'am, I haven't been going. I've been just steady working. But I intend to address that every day if I am granted. You know, I will attend AANA.
Tell us about the arson and aggravated assault. I know that was a long time ago, but what happened with that?
I honestly, that was one of those times my wife at the time had to tell me what I had done. I remember being stopped at the service station where I was arrested. I had some gas cans and I don't even know what I was doing. I was out of it.
How long you been in jail?
13 years.
Do you have any children of your own?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are they?
Ebony is 33. Chantanelle is 38. And Clyde is 35.
That you have two daughters?
Yes.
How would you feel if somebody did to them what you did to your family member, other family members?
Angry, just like I am with myself, of course.
Say that again?
I say very upset and angry as I am at myself for what I've done. It's eating me.
And so you did victim impact training. You finished that just this year. Tell us what you got out of that.
It taught me what the consequences of my actions and what it put my victims through and how they have to suffer and live their life from this because of my actions.
Yeah, I mean, they were very young, and so you had quite an impact probably for the rest of their life.
No,
Not in a good way.
not in a good way. I'm not up to date.
If you were to be released, what's your transition plan?
Work.
Where would you go?
I have a job lined up now to begin with when I'm released. To my understanding, I will be able to transition back into my business if I'm able.
Where's your home?
For Louisiana.
Shreveport. And you've been, you're aware of all the special requirements for sex offenders?
Yes, ma'am. Registration.
Training?
Do you have a house to live in that falls within the guidelines?
I was supposed to be going with my brothers at the address that I have.
Did you ever live there before?
No, not his address.
Do you know if it falls within the guidelines of being the right distance from the schools and daycares?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I have no way of knowing that unless someone look into it.
But if you had lived there before, then you'd know. That's all I was asking.
I haven't.
Okay, any question?
No question.
All right, Mr. Roane, this is a difficult case because of the age of the victims at the time of the crime.
Yeah.
Very concerning. You have been in jail over 10 years. You have done some good programs. I appreciate that you, after your last hearing, you did finally complete the sex offender program, the last of it. And you seem to have some thought about where you want to be and, you know, have some good job skills. You have a low risk score on your what we call a static 99, which is a tool we use to assess risk for sex offenders about their likelihood to reoffend. You scored out really low. Because of that and your age, and the fact that you've accepted responsibility today, which you hadn't done previously, my vote today would be to grant your parole. With the special condition, you have to comply with all the requirements of the sex offender, they call it a sex offender contract. And that you do attend AA meetings 3 times a week, at least.
Damn.
That's my vote, Mr. Freeman.
You know, I told you last time probably to do some more programs and all, and like she said, you did complete the sex offender program. I think you took another class as well. My vote is gonna be to grant with no contact whatsoever with the victims. If there's some kind of family event, they're gonna be there, you are not to be there. If you see them in a store, you are to leave the store. I want you having absolutely no contact with them.
Yes, sir.
And I also want you to go to the AA meetings and get a substance abuse evaluation and follow any recommended treatment.
Sir.
It has to be conditional.
All right, I'm also gonna vote to grant conditional. Before you release, you need to complete a DOC long-term substance abuse treatment and complete the victim accountability letter training and provide an approved residence plan.
Yes,
So you gotta complete those things before you get out. Substance abuse, victim letter, and provide an approved residence that PNP can verify.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Roan, so you've received a unanimous vote to grant your parole. Good luck to you, sir. You've got some work to do for the rest of your life.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all.
Look, Warden, that concludes our business. We're going to sign off at 11:46.
Thank you, Ms. Sherman.